What is going on, everybody? It is the Crooked Commish here with the Chicago Clubhouse Network. And I know what y'all may be thinking. Hey, Bears aren't playing today. Why is there a pregame show? Good question. So we still want to keep this thing going here, even though the Bears are not playing. And there's a saying, a very famous saying, I'm sure you all have heard it before. And it's to keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go ahead and talk about the enemy within our division here and talk about what they have going on this week and, what we still need to improve on. Kind of get Amp's take here on what he saw about the game in London, the things that he liked, maybe about a little bit of the things he didn't like. And then Coach Chef here may join us later on as well, talking about the game that happened over in London as well. So, and maybe play some highlights if anybody missed the show on Tuesday night and they were not able to see the Bears highlights from the London game. We can go ahead and play those for you guys as well. And let us know what you thought. So please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to us so you never miss an episode here at the Chicago Clubhouse Network. We have our fantasy football show with your boy, the Crooked Commish, at 8:30 Central is our show time there. And then Tuesday night is the main show with T-Nick, Frank the Tank, Foulmouth Chris, and JB Stats. They will go over all the games there, every game on Sunday, break down the Bears win or lose. We talk about it. So, and then we also have our Easy Does It show. Easy usually comes on Friday. He's kind of been on a bit of a hiatus here for a while. And then, of course, we have our Sunday pregame show. So without further ado, and all that's out of the way, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host. He is always amped up, and that's, of course, why we call him and refer to him as Amp.
Hey. Good morning, Commish. How are you, man?
Top of the morning to you. I am doing good. You?
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. You know,
how can you
went
not?
Went over there to London, beat them down where we were supposed to beat them down, and I saw a lot of things that I like, man. We'll get into that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, most importantly, good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. Mm-hmm.
Yes, good morning. Please grab your cup of coffee, or if you're already up to it, Moore's beer and stuff, if you're having a beer mimosa or something. So, I mean, if you're on the East Coast, maybe it's closer to noon than it is for me here in Arizona. But like I said, we don't judge here. You still want to celebrate that Bears win, by all means, go ahead and celebrate away. Yes. So it's nice to be 4-2. And Amp, I think it's fair to say the NFC North is probably the toughest team or the toughest division in the NFL. I mean, the Vikings still undefeated, and everybody else is 4-2. What do you think?
I agree, Commish. I agree, man. That the NFC North is looking like one of the toughest divisions in the league right now, man. Detroit is Detroit. Yes. Defense, offense. Minnesota, I'm pleasantly surprised by their defense. I knew the offense was going to be okay. Mm-hmm. I didn't think they were going to, blow up like this. Green Bay is Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? And then we got our 4-2 Bears. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And we're about to get into the meat of the season. So this is gonna be interesting. I really can't wait, man. I'm pretty excited. To say the least. The Bears held their own, which we can go back, play the tape. I wasn't thinking if they were gonna, I knew they should have been 5-1, but I was kind of.
You had them as a loss. You picked that game as a loss.
I did. I did. I had them as a loss, and the coaching staff, I didn't like Shane Waldron, and I was skeptical about Puss, but watching the kid, watching number 18 progress from the first game to last week's game. I mean, just like I could see the progression, man. I've watched a lot of Bears quarterbacks, as you know, and most of our fandom knows. I've watched a lot of Bears football, and I've seen a lot of Bears quarterbacks. And what I see in this kid, man, what I see in number 18 is special. It's yes. Special, man. It's special. I mean, the kid is getting rid of the ball in 2.1 seconds. And this is after making his reads. You know what I mean? And this kid is gonna be good, man. This kid is he's really gonna be special, man. And
I agree.
And you heard it from Amp. Yep.
I agree. I think one of the biggest differences is we've seen good games from our QBs here and there. Like, Justin Fields has had his good games. Kyle Orton, all these guys have had a good game. Mitch Trubisky we've seen that before from our QBs and stuff. So it's that part isn't so uncommon. It's the consistency and being able to stack up good games back to back to back to back. That's what we haven't seen, and that's what's been missing. So it's one of those things where it's like in the past, we've seen it before and we've been like, yes, great. This is what we expect and we want to see. And then the next game or 2 games later, it's all that goes away and it's back to where the quarterback looks lost or unsure. And, it's a night and day type of different, QB. So the good thing with Caleb is we've seen now throughout the season, every single game he's progressed and he's gotten better. Yeah. He's looked better. Yeah. I know, like I said, back when it first happened in week 2, it was a little strange for me to say Caleb Williams looked better having a game where he threw multiple interceptions and, the Bears still lost compared to week 1 where, he didn't even crack 100 yards, but the Bears won, but he did, like you said, look more comfortable in the offense. And that is just continue to happen week after week after week to where he knows where he's going with the ball. He's going through his progressions. We talked about that on the Tuesday show as well. Frank had a tape where he's showed his eyes in slow motion. He's going through 1, 2, 3, and then goes back to 1 and checks down and stuff. So it's great to see that from him. It's great to see that the offensive line has come together and gelled a bit more as well. Hopefully they can continue to stay healthy. Nate Davis has hit the bench, and I think he obviously should stay there.
Where I was just about to say where he should be. Where he should be.
Correct. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So hey, I agree with you. I agree with you, Commish. Yeah. This kid is it, man. This kid is it. Last week, 220 something yards, 4 TDs. You know what I mean? I forgot what the rushing yards was.
Let me go ahead and pull it up on me. We got his passing chart.
Oh, there we go. 23 of 29.
That's 226. The right.
That's what, that part right there. That 23 of 29, and then 26 yards.
Yeah, 226.
I like that.
4 touchdowns and the 1 interception.
I like that, and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yep.
Could have been 5 if he would have thrown that ball into the end zone. Obviously, that interception was a bad interception. It sailed on him, or it just kind of floated up there like if it was a punt. That's how much hang time it had. If he would have led DJ into the end zone, kind of thrown more towards the pylon, that would have been touchdown number 5 right there. And he was 24 of 29 with 5 touchdowns and no interception. So, I mean, like I said, that interception is a fixable.
And the thing about that interception is he came back. When he came right back out, it was like, like he didn't throw it. You know what I'm saying? He has that number 18 has that moxie. I'm like, okay, like, and then you see him going to the bench, and then you see him talking to his offensive weapons, DJ, Azum, Keenan Allen. You know what I'm saying? He as a rookie, he's bringing him over and saying, okay, this was on me. You know, you can see that, and that leadership, man. The leadership with him, I like that. I like that, man. I like that, and I'm just guessing because of the first 5 games that Waldron didn't want to give him too much. He didn't want to give him too much. We did a lot of screens those first 3 games, a lot of screen passes, nothing downfield, and now this kid he's dropping dimes. He's dropping dimes downfield, man. So, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? Which is coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Offensive coaching staff.
I know it killed you to say that. I know it killed you to say that.
Yeah. Hey. You know what? I'm diehard. You know, I'm diehard, and you know how I feel about the coaches and the line, man. But when I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Been a fan for 50-something years, man. And when I see it, I call it. I call it like I see it. It may not be like what our fans see or what my co-hosts see, but when I see something, I call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I see something, you know what I mean? I'm gonna admit it, like, hey, this is something special, man. I'm saying, so like Bear fans, hold on. This is gonna be a nice ride. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Yes, I agree, and I will say this as well. The one thing that I do like about the interception, and stick with me here, is the fact that it was a play action from what we've seen before. They had a Kramer in there as the mini fridge, and everyone bid on it. The play worked because DJ was wide open. Everyone thought the run was coming. And that's what we've been asking for, is build some play action plays on what running schemes that they've seen already. Have the same setup as of, okay, they're going to run it, and then obviously do a play action and have a receiver out there. So like I said, even DJ was the only receiver out there running a route. He was still open there on that play. And if the ball was thrown, placed in the right place, it would have been a successful play. And it would have been off of a play action of a running play that they've already done earlier in the game. So I like that they're doing stuff like that and incorporating the play action off of run packages that we've shown in the game earlier. So hopefully they continue to do that.
And that's all we've been asking for. That's all we've been asking for. But hey, what's up, son? That's my man. That's my youngest son. He's a
Ravens fan, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened. I can't explain that. What's up,
my son's a Cardinals fan, so
yeah.
All right.
What can we do?
Thank you for joining. Hit that thumbs up for us, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate all the comments.
Yeah, man. All the comments, everyone, man. Yeah, that play action, but that's what we like you said, Commish, that's what we've been looking for. You know, and I'm under the impression like Waldron knew that, let's give the kids some time. You know, let's feed them a little bit. Let's feed them a little bit, because the game is a lot faster than in college. You know, they knew that the kid had the talent. I seen it at USC, but I didn't think it would, you know, he would be able to bring it over to the NFL the way he did, man. And just his leadership ability and his like, I got this. Don't worry about this. I like that, because, you know, those first few games, I've seen it destroy rookies, Bears rookie quarterbacks. I've seen it destroy them. You know what I mean? Either they were just bad and in those first 3 games or those first 4 games, just, you know, I knew like these are going to be career backups. But this kid number 18, he's going to be special. And once we put the line is doing good. The offensive line is playing well, cohesiveness without Nate Davis. Yes. Check us out. Once we get a couple of more pieces, man, I don't know how far we're going to go. I'm hoping for a double-digit season, because we have our division at the end. That's gonna be That's gonna be interesting, man. That's gonna be interesting. You know, tell me what you think about next week. Tell me what you think about next week with Washington.
I think it's going to be a fun game. I really think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if, say, we get towards the end of the season and Caleb's numbers and Jaden's numbers look similar, pretty close. I think that game may be the deciding factor for Rookie of the Year. So depending on who won or who had the better game, like I said, if towards the end of the season, if they're kind of neck and neck, that could be the deciding factor in who's going to win Rookie of the Year there. So I'm thinking the Bears should be able to still win this game. It's still a very winnable game. It's not a pushover win. It's not like a game that we're looking at. Like, you can't look at them as the same way as you looked at like the Panthers and the Jaguars. You can't, you know what I mean? They're going to put up a bit scrappier team and stuff. So, so like I said, I still think it's winnable. I still see Caleb, having a good game. 3 touchdown game, possibly even, it's one of those things where we've seen it out of him before multiple times. So doesn't sound crazy or unreasonable to ask for that again, and it's not like Washington's defense is top notch. They're getting hit with the injury bug as well. Allen, one of their big defensive linemen, out, so like I said, I'm expecting a Bears win. I'll hold my score up until next week, till next Sunday, when it's actually game time. So, but I'm expecting a Bears win for sure. So
I agree with you.
Go ahead, and then I have a question for you, but let me have your take on what you think about next week.
I agree with you. I think it's gonna be a tough ball game. I agree. But again, man, I like our QB. I like our QB, and I believe he's gonna put them numbers on the board. He's gonna put just enough on there for that defense, our defense, to win this game, because there are some injuries on that O line in Washington. So I believe he's gonna lead the way. I believe number 18 is gonna lead the way, and the defense is gonna clean it up. And I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout, just like last week or anything like that. I'm not going to predict the score, but I think it's going to be a tough ball game, and I think the Bears are going to come away with the W. I think they're going to come away with the W with against the Commanders, man. Yeah.
Continue to make that division tougher. I mean, they win there; they're 5-2. I mean, they're going to be really rolling there, and then there's going to be a loss between either Detroit is going to be either right there with us at 4-2, or Minnesota's might lose their O this week, against Detroit. It's good to see them battling against each other, so they're going to beat each other up a little bit.
Let's see, Minnesota. Who do Minnesota have? Minnesota's on a bye this week?
No, Detroit. Minnesota versus Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So they're gonna our two division foes kind of beat up on each other a little bit. So Minnesota, like I said, that's a big game for Detroit. Detroit.
I'm looking at last week's sheet. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think so?
It's very possible.
So?
I mean, it's very possible. Detroit's offense is still looking good. Minnesota's defense is really hitting on all cylinders right now, and not allowing very many points. But Detroit's feeling good about themselves, manhandling the Cowboys. So at Dallas as well.
No, I mean, that's the Cowboys, man. That's the Cowboys.
It still feels good
to Cowboys
thump a team like that, 47-9 or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like it's still, you still feel really good about yourselves, So
as they should, yeah. I'm thinking like anytime you have a JJ on your team for Minnesota with that defense, like Chef,
I sent you a link.
Chance, man.
Coach Chef, I sent you a link if you want to jump on with us. So check your email. If you don't text me or whatnot, and I can resend it. Go ahead. Don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I think when you have JJ on your team and a defense like that, every week you got like a high percentage of winning the game, man. I'm talking about Minnesota. I'm talking about you got the best receiver in the league on that team, man. So yeah, and the defense, I would have never thought.
That's
I would
gonna
have
hurt.
never thought. Mm-hmm.
Losing Hutchinson, Detroit losing
Oh,
Hutchinson will hurt for the season.
yeah,
Yeah,
that will
really
hurt. That will
big
hurt,
time.
man. That was you don't like to see anyone get injured, man. That was nasty. That was nasty.
Yeah, that was real.
Yeah, and it kept showing it. That was the worst part about it. It kept showing it, and every time,
brother.
why you make me laugh? Because I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be serious here.
It was nasty seeing that leg.
It was one of those. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, no,
I'm not. It was bad.
It was very bad. It was very bad.
It was bad.
I'll leave it at that. So, a
Would
question
you say, ew?
Yeah. It was an ill moment. It was an ill moment, especially when they keep showing it.
Yeah,
Like,
that it was.
Oh God, please stop.
That it was. That it was, man. That it was. Yeah. Nothing, man.
My question
I'm good.
for you
I'm
though is there's been a lot of chatter out there and within the fan group here about trying to trade for Mad Max and whatnot. What are your thoughts on that? I'll give you my thoughts, but what is that something that you're clamoring for as well? Is that something that you would like to see as well, or are you willing to? Are you in the camp of like, hey, let's hold off on that? We're not quite there yet. So, what do you think?
I like Crosby. Let's get that straight first. And Sweat does need help. Yeah. That opposite side, he does need help. Max Crosby would be definitely an improvement for that D line, man. I'm thinking prioritize. You know, right now the defense is playing pretty good. I think they rated number 7 or 8 in the league.
Defense.
So they're playing pretty good. Yeah, they're playing pretty good. I'm thinking prioritize it. Get alignment. Offensive lineman. Unless you can get Crosby for a fourth round pick. You know what I'm saying? If you can get him for a fourth round pick. Is this a rental player? Are you talking about like renting him? Because what's on his contract? What's left on his contract? You know?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think he's at the end of his contract year. Like he's not done after the end of the season. He wouldn't be a free agent. So I think he at least has.
I think he just got paid 2 years ago. He just got a.
Yeah. So I think
like 2 years ago
on his contract. So it's a rich contract. Don't get me wrong. It's going to cost you, but I think I'm not in favor of it. I kind of view that. I think the compensation that we'd have to give up would be very similar to what we had to give up to get Khalil Mack and stuff. I'm not saying it's like I said exactly, but I think that's the kind of stuff they would have to look at that they would want for Max. And I just don't think that we're quite there yet. We're not quite that one piece away from winning the Super Bowl.
No,
I think our offensive line's still a long way away and still needs some help and stuff.
And that's what I say. That's what I say. Let's focus on what we need, what we really, really need. We're not trying to give away.
Nelson would be nice, but I'm not sure if the Colts would be trading Nelson. They're still trying to keep their quarterback healthy.
They're not.
With Richardson.
They're not. Bears had a chance to draft him. You know what I mean? But we chose
Roshan.
Right.
I think we did Smith. I think that was the year. I think he came out the same year as Roquan Smith. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we had a chance to draft him, but I'm hoping like that DN position is gonna take care of itself, man. Let's try to keep number 18 upright. Like I said, they're starting to gel. That offensive line is starting to gel. Number 18 is starting to see things on the field. You know what I mean? They say after 5 games, there's no longer a rookie. So and he's playing like that. Number 18 is playing like that. You know what I mean? He had quite a few opportunities last week to take off and and run. But making his progressions, and he saw the open receivers, whether it was Cole Kmet or whether it was DJ or whether it was Rome, he spotted them. This is like at the second read. And what I like so much about it is that the announcers was showing, how long he held the ball. And man, when I seen like after 3 reads and it was like 2.3, something like that, 2.5, something like that, I'm like, that's after 3 reads, man. And he hit his mark. He didn't take off and run and you know what I'm saying? When the open man was on his second read. There you go, man. There you go. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And I guess I give kudos to Waldron for that, man. When I thought that he wasn't being coached up, I talked about Waldron. When I see that he is being coached up and he's progressing, I give praise to Waldron. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm a Bears fan, man. I'm a Bears fan.
Andreas says, leadership matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kid is showing that. And because I was one of the first ones, I don't know if you remember, I wanted to know at the beginning of the season why the kid had a C on his jersey. And I not only did I share that with our podcast, I shared that with my 2 brothers. And they were like, "Oh, Amp, the kid is ready. And I'm like, nah. So that C means something special, man. I mean, that means you're a leader. You go out there, you got to lead. And those first few games, I didn't see that. But now, yeah.
And we have somebody in our team that not only has 1 C's but 2 C's, and we call him Coach Chef, and he's ready to come in the game as well. So we'll go ahead and bring him in. Coach Chef, welcome to the show. Thank you for hopping on in. We were just talking about, I'm sure you're hearing.
Good morning, Coach.
What's going on?
We're just talking about
man.
chatter. Talking about the trade potential. What are your thoughts on that? Would that be something that you would be wanting to see, or do you think that's too soon?
One, I just want to say, Commish, that was a great entrance to 2 C's thing. That was awesome, man. Good work. I see your comfortability with those one-liners, man. It's off the chain, dog. So, that was really good. I was like, where you going with? Oh, where you going with the C? Okay.
You see what I did there?
On, yeah, that was good.
You see what I did there? Okay. All right.
Cool. I've been seeing on all these groups different ideas for trades, and I think it's still a development thing. So I don't think unless you can get not a steal, but you have to curb the idea of how much you would have to pay for an extension for a superstar like Crosby or anyone else you're going to get trade for, or whatever the ether was talking about, Devontae Adams or Crosby or whoever all these trades are, or even this fancy, we got to trade for a lineman. No one trades a starting lineman at the break. This is not, I keep wanting to tell people in all these little groups and YouTube pages and Facebook groups, this isn't a video game. You don't just plug and pull any position just because it's a trade. That doesn't go a long way in reality on how trades are conducted in the NFL. It doesn't happen. Would it be nice? Sure, but how much are you going to have to pay him along with paying Sweat out? Most of the deals that Poles has signed have been very team friendly, and in the next couple of years they won't be as harsh compared to like position group like the Jalen Johnson signing. He got paid top quality to be a starting corner, but in 2 or 3 years, it won't look like it, because once those other corners get signed, it will look kind of like average. Same thing with DJ. His deal was a good deal. It was very team friendly, but it also got DJ paid. But in 2 or 3 years, he won't be even probably a top 12 to 15 paid wide receiver. So, correct. How are you going to pay a guy like Crosby if you get him, because you're going to have to pay him top tier money? And if you're going to allocate that type of money for him in 2 or 3 years, along with in 3 years, exactly paying Caleb again, because what's the 4-year deal. In year 4, you're gonna have to pick up that option and extension and all that other stuff. So, if it makes financial sense to do that, then fine. But I don't think that's necessary. You drafted a defensive end. You can draft another defensive end. Remember,
Booker,
championship teams typically make their biggest moves in the draft. You have to draft and develop the talent instead of doing what some teams do. If you look teams who quote unquote won the offseason, the Bears quote unquote won the offseason last year, and we won 5 or 6 games. Granted, there were other stipulations and reasons why we didn't win, but you got to build through the draft. You got to take the talent that you're getting and take all this capital from these draft capital that Pulse has amazingly gotten, and all of these outstanding trades, no matter what you think. And you got to draft the guys. You got to hit on the guys you draft, and you got to develop them up.
I like this comment here, and was from Andrea. CC, I'm going to go with triple C. Competent coach, chef, agree. This isn't like moving fantasy football players around. You mess with the chemistry of the team with moves. The grass isn't always greener. Work with what you have. Great comment, Andrea.
In a sense, yeah. I don't think a guy like Crosby ruins chemistry. I think he's an awesome player, and no one's ever said anything bad about him. But let's see what we have. Let the guys we have meld together and grow together, man. I like the rookie, the guy they got in the trade from Seattle. He's playing solid. He hasn't had the 2-sack game, but this line, I just want this line to gel and get better. And we got to stop the run a little better. I mean, we're still averaging. We're getting gashed here or there. Some teams are not sticking with the run like they should. Not Pittsburgh. Carolina didn't stick with the run. I think we've got to solidify us to stop the run, and just adding it in like Crosby doesn't necessarily do that. But let's develop that. Let's develop the ability to stop the run first a little better.
Well, Logan said that Crosby has 2 years left on his contract. I'm like, okay, that's fine. As far as stopping the run, again, we'll still need that 3 technique D tackle. You know what I mean? We need a pass rusher.
No, we have the 3 technique.
He's not stopping the run as he should. I mean,
you mean the guy who leads all defensive tackles and sacks? No, the 3 technique is Dexter.
I said, I know who the 3 technique is. I know exactly who he is. I'm saying that before you go out and Bears have paid money for defensive players. Mac, when the Raiders was tearing down their team, looks like the Browns are going to tear down their team. Look like the Browns are having a sale over there. What's too much? What's spending too much for some help? For Sweat. Yeah, they paid for Sweat from the Commanders. What's too much?
Well,
if it's a
legitimate top 5
it's a clearance house.
I mean, teams are. I mean, if you can quote unquote fleece, which is a term, like once again, I always say, I've said it repetitively on this show, our former midweek show, that people have the concept that just because you're getting every trade looks lopsided, and that's only because what we glorify are lopsided trades. Remember not old school, not like it happened 20 years ago, but remember the NFL top 10, they would do top 10 receivers, top 10 people of the area, top 10 lopsided trades. People only glorify in the media the extreme trades we have. And the trade that we got, that Pulse literally fleeced Carolina on, it's going to go down in history.
That was going down in the books. This one going down in the books for sure.
Even if Caleb is a mid-tier, I'm saying worst case scenario, say he's a 12 to 15 quarterback, we still got legitimate starters from that trade. We got Stevenson, we got DJ in the trade, and then got him to sign the extension. We got a Caleb. We got like 5 players from that trade. We still have a draft pick next season.
And still have a number 2. Yeah, still have a number 2 left.
So even if you get a guy who's, say he's not an all pro or an all-star, say you get a consistent guy you can rely on, that trade is cumulative of what we receive compared to what Carolina, what they got with the trade. And it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't seem like their quarterback is coming to fruition, unfortunately, because, you don't want to see people fail. It just doesn't seem that's what you can't expect that every time you make a trade. The idea of making a trade is that both parties get what they want and they win.
Right.
But people have this concept that all these trades are so lopsided. That's typically not how the bulk of trades happen. The ones that end up getting the recognition are the lopsided trades, unfortunately. Like, for instance, when we traded for Khalil Mack and the Raiders got who they got, they ended up with a draft pick who I don't even think is on the roster anymore. People were saying we fleeced him, and I would say that kind of ended up even because they drafted another defensive lineman who was okay, but no one talks about that trade because no one overwhelmingly won either side. It was kind of like, we got Mack, but we weren't good enough. Yeah, kind of wash. You get rid of him at the end of the contract, we end up trading him again. So
I have a trivial question for you, Coach Jeff. I have a trivial question for you. What's the worst trade that you can remember in Bears history? And that goes for you also, Commish. That goes to you also, Commish. What's the worst trade in Bears history that you can remember?
I can tell you right now.
Coach Jeff.
I can tell you right now. And you know what I'm gonna say.
Tell me.
Is Mr. Trubisky being traded for the second round pick. I mean, from the 3 to the 2. That's the worst trade. It's the worst trade. Mr. Trubisky, by far. So? I mean, I'm being slightly biased because I consistently have said the entire time once they drafted him, it was a bad pick. But I'm always going to say, I'm just saying, people who have followed me prior to us even doing the show,
Scott took mine.
You know what, Rick? Wow, that was a
the
bad
Rick Meyer,
trade.
because we gave up how many number ones did we give up? I thought we gave up 2 number ones.
Who'd you say, Commish? Who'd you say, Commish?
Rick Meyer.
Who did you say, Commish?
I was thinking
the Rick Meyer from the
Seahawks. Ding. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Fleeced. That's the one, Commish.
Now,
got fleeced for years.
So what I would now, my other phone is broken, but I would like to see not just what we gave away. What were the picks that the Seahawks got for that trade?
It was bad. It was bad, Coach Jeff. It was bad.
But
he had Myers had one good season,
and that wasn't even that good of a season.
It wasn't that good, and the Bears gave away like 3 or 4 first rounders for him, and after the third game, after he started 3 games, he was on the. It was horrible, man. That trade set the Bears back. That trade set the Bears back, like I want to say at least 10 years, man. At least
after the Myers trade, didn't they get the kid from UCLA after?
Yeah,
that was one of the first worst quarterbacks drafted by the Bears. Hey, McNown, who somehow still he's like top 3 in like yardage for a rookie that Caleb most likely statistically will break. But yeah, if we could, like I said, my other phone is dead.
The Greg Olsen trade was bad. They were just dumping him. I hated that just because I get it, because he didn't fit their new offensive scheme there. They wanted blocking tight ends. I get it, but I still hated
said that there was controversy with that trade. It wasn't just that Mike Martz didn't want a receiving tight end, because Greg Olsen even talked about that trade later on. But that was a trade because he turned into a Pro Bowl tight end, and he was trending up to being a Pro Bowl tight end, and we got rid of him.
I loved it when we drafted him.
And who did we get for him? The question is, who did Marsh want? That's what made it even worse.
He wanted Mahafala, and then
who was 307 pounds, man, and
he was almost 300 pounds. He was an extension and other issues. Yeah. Although Jay Cutler has said that he didn't dislike Martz, but it didn't allow him to audible and some other things that Mike Martz in his way of, I don't know, Mike. It's hard to say that an offensive coordinator who's won a Super Bowl isn't good, but I did not. The only other tenure of a coach while Jay was here who I didn't like was Trestman, as far as play calling. That's a head coach. Yeah. That's a little different. But with the trade thing, I think what you do is, unless you can really get true value or what you deem as value for polls, look, ride with who you got, develop the guys who we have now, If there's any I don't see any super glaring holes in the team besides the offensive line. But guess what? Once again, I've said this, even though they still have tendencies of looking kind of leaky here or there. These guys have to play together. You draft a guard center next year because you're going to need one for Davis. You're going to need one for Shelton. You need young offensive line talent to develop. Look, I don't care. I'm going to say this all day. Braxton Jones is a solid average tackle.
Average
Wright is
that's the word. Average.
I've always said that. But there's nothing like teams win with if there's 32 teams and everyone has 2 tackles, that's 64 tackles. So if he ranks between 20 and 45, not in 45 is at kind of the back end, he doesn't rank in like the 50s or 60s. He actually is not, he's the only lineman not to give up a sack this year. And he's still a second-year player. Remember, we got a mid-round draft pick for a kid who is still developmental. Some guys, it takes time. You got right in the first round. Tevin still came back last week looking good. And these guys have to obviously stay healthy. They have to work. They have to meld together, get that communication. I like Pryor. Shelton's coming along, but he doesn't do well against one techniques. But that's what you do with the combo blocking, everything in the scheme for offensive line, how you're blocking it. But we need to draft someone in potentially a higher value guy in an earlier round, and you got to develop that guy. I don't know what they're going to do, but if they finish the season doing really good, we're probably going to keep the offensive line coach. But that's how you go about that. And then you just got to work on everything else. You got to work on linebacker help. You got to work on keeping that depth high enough. You got and we still got the Amagazi kid from Yale. And people could talk. Look, everyone's critical, and it's your right as a fan to be critical of the team that you enjoy. But let's keep things in the word that I love to say, in perspective. You don't know what you have until you've seen enough film to prove that. And just because someone is not successful, here's the trend. Excuse me, I might get semi-long-winded. The thing that made me become a more reasonable or realistic fan was the 90s Bears for me. So I'm only 39. I'll be 40 in January. And those days, all my true memories of Bears, like when I started watching football on a regular every Sunday basis, was the Dave Wannstedt Bears. And I used to watch them every game. So that's what 90. That's after the second Super Bowl. That's the second Super Bowl that the Cowboys won. We got Dave Wannstedt from the Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson, like which would have made it 93, 94. I've been watching the Bears religiously since then. I've always been a Bears fan, but like when you really have those memories when you're watching every game and you're excited and you're one of those fans like Commish, or you're like Mr. Chicago, where you're watching and you think that every pick they make and every move is the greatest move in the world, and you start watching, you're like, why is this team bad? And then in 3 to 5 years, you start doing your research and you're like, okay, what's the true testament of draft picks? Even if your draft picks you draft leave, what do they do when they leave here? And for about a 5 or 6 year span, there's a couple hit and misses there. We weren't drafting good talent. If you go back and look at those 90 drafts, bro, once those guys, Enos had it, he had a torn knee. He tore his knee up. Remember
injuries,
that?
Yeah.
He tore his knee up. But if you go back and once a player leaves your team and then they don't exist in the NFL at all, that wasn't a good pick. The Bears had not Andre Wadsworth. They had a Spellman who had some unfortunately had some mental health. Alonzo Spellman has some mental health issues, things that you can't necessarily foresee. But there's consistent picks in those 90s where we're bad. You could talk about Benson. Benson went on to put up 1,200 yards with the Bengals. R.I.P. to Cedric Benson, and how we handle certain situations. It takes time for people to develop, and you have to have the scouting team and the right GM who's going to draft based off of not just don't do what the other Ryan did and go in disguise to check out a mid-tier quarterback or whatever you're going to do, like Mr. Trubisky. Look, do your due diligence. Don't just fall in love with a guy because he drives a 1990
Shalom was
Honda
another
Civic
running back in the 90s.
You know what? Yeah, Rashawn
he was rookie of the year.
He was good.
I mean,
he had
1,000 yards his first year. His first year, he had 1,000 yards, and then it just didn't.
Unfortunately, another running back, R.I.P., passed away.
You
So
started watching. You say you started watching with Dave Weinstein. Dave Weinstein was not a good coach. He was not a good coach for the Bears.
I didn't
For
say
the
that.
Bears.
I didn't say he
Dave
was
Weinstein
good.
was the reason. Dave Weinstein was. I said when you started watching. I'm giving my perspective on it. You said you started watching during the Dave Weinstein era. I'm saying for me, of course I was watching him then, but he was not a good coach for the Bears.
He ain't been a good coach
saying?
nowhere.
He was the one. He was the one that said about Spellman. This kid, he can bench press 380. Can and jump out of a pool. This kid's the real deal. He was going on physique. He was going on his physique, and the kid, like you said, he had mental problems. He had mental problems, man, and then it just went all downhill from there. As far as Weinstein goes, man, I mean, yeah. So I mean, we all have our own opinion, but
you're right.
Whiny. Now he's a great commentator. I watch him every Sunday. He's a great commentator, man.
I don't understand why
Chicago
media. I don't understand why Chicago media loves that guy so much, bro.
I love him, man.
I love him
as a commentator,
bro. He don't, bro. I just be like, bro. You still out here making the same. His opinions be the same. They be mid tier. His opinions be so mid. They be so mid.
You know what I mean?
Remember, he's kind of
flip floppy. He's kind of flip floppy. You know,
he went to Miami. He ran Ricky Williams into the ground.
Yes, yeah, he did.
He almost set the record for carries. Then he went to his alma mater, Pitt, and he was mid-tier there as a head coach in college. I'm not saying Dave Weinstein knows way more football than I've ever learned in my entire life. But you have to evaluate the people based on the positions they have, and he's been a mid-tier coach his entire career as far as a head coach.
Absolutely.
Apparently, he was a very good defensive coordinator. And even his opinions, maybe it's the age, and he's another one of these coaches that have kind of still kind of passed them by mentally to where they're trying to still do that thing. But
you know what?
He's solid, but when he be on, he be talking about, to be like, bro, please stop. Just like NBC got the scout. They got the scout who was a part of the Bears when they drafted Mitch. Bro, get your
Tim Jennings?
I don't want to hear nothing. No, your opinion. I don't want to hear your opinion, sir.
Yeah.
Question real quick, guys. Did you guys get a chance to see the highlight? Did you guys get a chance to see the highlights that I put together at all on the Tuesday show?
No, I didn't. Let's check them out. Let's check them out.
Check them out. All right, let's play them real quick for anybody that missed the Tuesday show as well. So
it's game over now.
Real quick.
Jacksonville got the dub.
The Bears. The Bears.
You got a toothbrush? We're going to London. Do you hear that, Doug? I'm coming to London.
Lawrence on 3rd and 5 from the pocket over the middle. That's Christian Kirk. First down, Jackson. And he got it. First points on the opening drive this season.
It's a nice moment for you. I'm gonna let you have it.
Williams keeps it. And gets himself a first down. Williams, that's Rashawn Johnson. He takes it for a first down and more. Rashawn Johnson. Fakes to Allen, fakes to Swift, and there's Commish. Cole Commish. Touchdown.
Sensational.
Is comfortable in this set. Williams over the middle. There's Rome Odunze. Takes it to midfield. Out there with the Lions and Cowboys playing later. Play fake. All kinds of time. There's DJ Moore. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Cisco. Moore with...
Who's that you throwing to, the receiver? Or you got some other shit on your mind?
For Swift around the left edge. He gains the corner and the first down.
At the quarterback position.
Williams looking deep, looking for somebody, looking for room. Finds it, and he's got a lot of room in front of him. Caleb Williams slides down right around the logo. 8-play drive. Williams gets out of trouble to his left. Now he keeps it again. He's got a lot of room. Williams inside the 5. Let's throw it into the end zone. There's Commish doing it all.
That's what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Where they thought he wound up. At any rate, it's 1st and 10. There's Swift on a screen, making his way through, down to the 8-yard line. Williams over the middle. Keenan Allen, touchdown. Having some tea.
It's like we're in Governor.
Goody gumdrops. Get us a cup of tea, would you, Errol?
It's Bigsby. Picks it up. Takes it down to the 11-yard line. Brings him back to the 21. Lawrence steps up for the end zone. Gabe Davis.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
It's Swift right up the middle and through. DeAndre Swift down to the 7-yard line. Chicago Bears 2nd and goal. DeAndre Swift doesn't get it. Instead, it's a touchdown to Keenan Allen. 14 minutes and change to go in this 4th quarter. Lawrence can't get away from the
Gotcha, bitch.
Lawrence over the middle, intercepted, picked off.
Shit. Got your ass.
Williams from his pocket evades the sack and finds Commish. Cole Commish. Offensive lineman is a fullback who blows open the hole for DeAndre Swift. Been done in a hurry. And that's not the way to start it. Lawrence completes it. That's a touchdown.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Oh. You already know, man.
You have
already
outdone
know,
yourself,
no.
sir. You have outdone yourself.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you, did
that
you
was
get
sweet, Commish.
you got to get the other claw we got to get is from Liar Liar. You got to get not the Jim Carrey, the stepdad, Carey, the guy
I know who you're talking about.
from
Men in Tights. Men in Tights.
Yeah, that guy. You got the claw.
Oh, sir. We got the claw. The claw's coming at you. Ooh, it's the claw.
No.
So scary. Ooh.
No.
It's gonna get you.
No.
Amp ain't like.
No.
Oh Lord! I gotta YouTube that. I have to YouTube that when we're done.
Nah. Hey, you can say that, Commish. You can say that, man. You can say that. The kid is good. The kid is good. I like number 18. I like number 18. Number 18. Let me preface it by saying that. But that right there, no. That's a hard no, man.
Oh Lord.
No.
Oh, I'm in tears.
Go ahead, show it to me again. How do you do it again, Chef?
I'm gonna do that.
Show me how you do it. Okay. Yeah, show me that. Save it to the end.
Oh,
save it for the end.
Thank you, Keith. Now,
that's
John
where it should be.
Walt Harris was actually good. Curtis Conway was good. Mark Carrier was good, but Mark Carrier wasn't. But he wasn't the one. He wasn't a Dave Wannstedt pick.
No, he was
Spellman
not.
was. Theory was.
I think
Cade definitely was.
Spellman.
Curtis.
I
Oh
like
man,
him. I had his jersey as a kid.
Curtis was my guy. He actually ended up having a solid 10+ year career. Never was all everything, but was a very good receiver for a while. Also was here the year we had my all-time favorite Bears quarterback up until hopefully soon, which was Eric Kramer, who the Tuesday guys have had on at least 2 or 3 times. Even Sherry's had him on. He's been, that guy's great, man. Eric Kramer, it was
absolutely.
awesome, man. Awesome guy. Awesome guy. Still my favorite Bears quarterback.
This is for Frank real quick. Frank was requesting.
Is bear.
Hey, wow, you are a bear.
It's all fun because he's winning. We wouldn't be able to have this kind of fun if they were.
What's up with that, Commish? For real, man. For real. What's up?
Yo, Amp ain't having none of that. You look like
what's up?
Amp look like the daddy.
Come on, man.
His son do something weird. He's like,
Amp is the new Captain Serious. He's the Captain Serious over here. He's taking the mantle from Taves. He's taking the mantle from Taves, and he's like Mr. Serious over here.
And no.
Ain't your kid supposed to be the bed? Goddamn it!
Why?
Go to bed.
Why?
Yo,
why?
Because that was actually funny. It's actually funny.
Why?
It's actually funny. Jaguars win big.
Why?
Lawrence looks solid.
Who do they beat? Who they just beat?
We play Patriots in London. They were there for 2 weeks. Brian Johnson Jr. had anyway. So I know I missed part of the show because you got me, Commish. I text you last night and you get back this morning. I woke up this morning early to turn the game on and I'm watching it. And of course, it's like the Bears, so I don't have no energy. So I'm just like, and I doze off. And then I just happen to wake up. You're like, yeah, we're going on 8:30. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Yes. But
I was in bed already. By the time you text me, I was already passed out. So as soon as I got in the morning, I was like, all right, let me get
okay. Also, Kendra, we went out for
the show. Let's get our last few points on.
Kendra had her birthday. We went out last night. So but I will say I like how the team is trending. I know you guys talked about it already. Look, you beat the people on your roster on your schedule. I've heard that a lot too. Oh, they haven't played anyone. Wait till they played it. Look, we won't know how they look until obviously they play better teams. But I think by that time, the incremental growth that we've seen, it'll get better. And yes, Caleb's going to struggle because guess what? Every quarterback struggles.
He's a rookie.
Okay, every player struggles. He's a rookie. Beside him being a rookie, even if he was a 10-year vet, guess what? Patrick Mahomes doesn't look great at all 17 games every year. He doesn't. Like,
nobody does.
We really no one looks great. No one looks great. This
he looks good. Patrick Mahomes looks good, man. Every game he looks good. He may not ball out for 300 yards, but that guy, he's the real deal, man. I can't cap, man.
But my point is that he's the pinnacle. Even Tom Brady didn't look good in his prime every game. They're going to have bad games. They're going to make bad decisions. I'm so tired of people saying he misses wide open guys. Justin Fields misses. Look, every quarterback in every game played every day miss wide open receivers. It happens every game, every week, since the beginning of football. No quarterback in the history has gone 100% the whole fucking season, okay? So look, you want the growth, you want him to hit more than he misses, obviously, but let's prospectively be aware that, hey, he's going to still make mistakes. We're going to play better defenses. We want the team to get better, and they still have the opportunity to finish statistically with a winning record. And statistically saying what they have like a 68% chance of making the playoffs, the fact that they're being 4-2 after 6 games now. So look, listen, when things, God forbid, they have a rough patch of weeks, whatever. Let's not throw this team and coaching staff, Amp, over the cliff. Because as soon as they have a bad game, you're gonna be like, Eva
pump your brakes.
Eva Puss, we gotta get rid of him. We gotta get rid of him.
Pump your brakes, Jim Shoe. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes, Jim Shoe. Check this out. I started this show straight up. I started the show acknowledging that number 18 was the real deal. Number 18 took his lumps. Did I not, Commish? Took his lumps those first few games, and I stated that what I see today is the Bears' future. I'm talking about number 18. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, so you might want to rewind this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's gonna take his lumps. I've seen his lumps, but he is. I've also seen a lot of other Bears quarterbacks in my time watching this, and I'm telling you that number 18 is the real deal. And I even gave praise to Waldron for putting that mediocre game plan in there those first few games. I said that.
What I'm saying is,
What are you saying, Coach?
Little do you all know, I go back and watch a lot of old episodes just to see what we were saying then. So
I watch him up here. I watch him up here. I got him up here.
Amp was calling for blood last week.
Bro,
last week.
I remember.
Absolutely.
You know,
I distinctly remember listening
and the week
to the
before
show.
that also. And the week before that also.
Hey, shout out to all those in the group. I remember distinctly Amp going in on our left and right tackle after the Packers game. He was talking about these guys can't block a thing. This is the worst draft. I was like, bro, it's one game. They played. They're okay. They're okay.
You talking about last season? You talking about last season?
I remember Tevin had like
go back. You was trying to get
rid of Tevin last year.
Go back,
bro.
Hey,
Tevin balled.
I just said you can go back 4 seasons. We can go back 4 seasons. Check it out. Matter of fact, that part right there. You go back 3 seasons. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Hey, check this out. I am a fan of the Bears. You know what I'm saying? And we all know what fan stands for. Short for what? Fanatic.
Fanatic.
And so when I see what I see, I call it like I see it. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
But I know.
You know, absolutely.
When I wanted to give chances, y'all was like, for instance, I remember distinctly a season ago being not. I wasn't cheering, but I was still trying to give grace.
Sure you were. You was cheering.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sure you were.
I'm the most mild-mannered person on all these shows. My energy stays about right in the middle until I hear somebody say some bullshit. Like when fans be like, "We got to play Jack Sanborn. He's Urlacher. He's the best linebacker we've had in Bears." Hey, look, get y'all cornball asses about. Oh wow. Yeah, get that. I like Jack. He's really good. Don't do that. So I'll be trying to say even kill, but I just know that I'm continue Grace. I know before I got on, you all were talking about Washington as well. I think that's going to be a really good game. I do think that I did notice that the grace that Caleb has not been getting from certain people in the media in the fan sphere about, we haven't played anyone. No one was talking about Jalen Daniels playing you can say what you want. The Bengals defense ain't good. Okay, you can say what you want. He's been torching some defenses that are not the best defenses in the NFL. So let's not just give one
been giving
guy
him praise over here.
Don't give one guy. Jaden Daniels is the guy we should have took. Bro, stop the noise.
Nah.
Who Caleb played? Caleb played the Panthers. Look, if you go look at the stats, it started clicking second half versus Indianapolis. His numbers have been considerably better. The pick he threw was probably the first pick in 2.5 games. His passer rating, his QBR, his just watching the games. Fuck watching the all 22. Just watching the games. Play calling's gotten better. All these things have gotten better. And you play who's on your schedule. This ain't college where you get to pick some division. You don't get to pick App State or Indiana State.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick Howard University to play before you play your conference.
This out, Coach.
You gotta win the games that's on the schedule.
Check this out, Coach. Here, what I'm watching, NFL Today, NFL Network. Check it out. They're giving this kid praise. They're not talking about what it was the Jaguars. They're giving him praise, man.
I know that.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But if you listen, like I said, I'm in a lot of different groups. I'm on a lot of different groups. I hear people, if they're not Bears fans, I really don't listen to them because people, are not gonna talk shit anyway. But I've heard that. I've heard, he played the Jags and the Panthers. We've been competitive in every game this season. The whole team. You could talk about, somebody just said the Colin Cowherd guy, y'all talked about it before about, they got blown out by Houston. They were in that game until the last drive in week 2.
Yeah, should have won that one. Should have won that one. We should have won that one.
Like, look, all I know, go look at the opponents, the Commanders have played. They haven't beaten the top tier of rosters out here, okay? Still football, you got to win what's on your schedule. You got to compete.
You can only beat who's in front of you. You can only beat who's in front of you.
So, and my thing is too, real quick, that everybody's not mentioning as well, is our division opponents play very similar opponents that we do. So, I mean, if you're going to say that we didn't play anybody, Green Bay didn't play anybody then, because Green Bay has played the same opponents that we've had, and they
exactly.
So it's like you can't have it.
He was talking about the Rams. The Rams beat San Francisco the week before we played the Rams. Get the hell out of here, bro. This is still football. They're all professionals any given Sunday. So
any given Sunday.
So when people say that, I'm like, clearly.
Go ahead.
Tampa, Browns, Cincy. Yeah, man. Come on.
So the other thing too, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
Just like the other thing is as well is it's the way that we win these games as well. So I was talking about it with Amp. If we were to barely be winning these games, we still won, but hey, it was a last minute drive that Caleb led and it was a field goal 27 to 30, we win or whatever. We're not winning like that. We're thumping these teams. And
we're teams you should thump. With the teams that you should thump, you're thumping them.
Correct.
And check this out. Let's not go ahead. I'm sorry, Commish. Go ahead. Finish it up.
No, that's just more or less it as far as like we're beating these teams that we should be, and we're beating them handily. We're not just barely squeaking by and needing. If we're winning every single game like we've won Tennessee, where we need help from the defense and the special teams, and hey, we stumbled into a win, then I could kind of
complete games though. Still playing,
and that's what I was about to hit on. Let's not overlook that special teams because Cole struck gold, man. Yeah, Cole struck goals with that punter. That kid, man, he struck goals. So 3 phases of the game, man. I'm liking it.
Guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up. We're a little over an hour, and it's about 15 minutes or 20 minutes till kickoff. Let's get our last thoughts. Amp, any shout outs or any
Commissioner's trying to get it. Commissioner's trying to get us off the air so he can run out the house. No, I'm joking. Go ahead, man. Be good.
I'm trying to watch these games. I got to watch for the
destination. Okay, check us out. I just want to thank my 2 co-hosts, Commish, Coach Chef. Appreciate you guys as always. Everybody that's tuning in, like, share, subscribe. We have what Commissioner tell you about all the rest of the shows. I appreciate you, and always, man. Even though it's not a Bears Sunday, always bear down. This is how we bear down. There's no other way. You
got to do it like that now. Bear down. Hey, he keeps winning. You can't deny it. So, Chef, what your last thoughts before we sign out and head on out here?
Incremental growth week in, week out. Going to have some bad throws. The team's not going to look perfect. But I'm excited for the first time since maybe last year for Justin before his injury about how the team's trending, especially with the defense and special teams. Side note, the guy from Iowa, I know you're an Iowa fan. I'm sorry, Iowa trash. Get out of here. Yeah, talking about the Hawkeyes weak. Fighting Illini here. Anyway, Justin.
You feeling really good about that win yesterday?
You goddamn right. You goddamn right.
Yeah.
You goddamn right.
Absolutely.
ILL, baby.
Absolutely.
ILL, baby.
Yeah.
Beat
There you
Michigan. Don't
go.
care. You got
There you
abuse on your
go.
schedule. We
There
going
you
to a
go.
bowl
There
this
you
year.
go.
Don't want to hear it.
Motherfucker.
Check your. I'm trying to get you to work in, Commish. I'm trying to get you to work in before the show ends. You got to give us your sits and your plays for fantasy. You're the fantasy guy. You got to get that in. You got to make that 5 to 7 minute segment where you give us your hot takes for fantasy every week before we get off the air. And we got to get some of these. Me and Amp, we got to do the gam. We got to do the betting line again. We got to do the betting line again. What we would do, we got to do that again. But so far so good. Team's trending up. Check your stats. I think Nick Chubb is active today. Levis isn't active. I think Devon. Oh no, that's Sunday night. Oh yeah, Sunday night. Jets play, so we'll get to see Devontae Adams and what he can do with AA Ron and his mediocre looking ass. Don't care.
Trash.
But
he's done. She's done. Sharon is done. She's done.
But definitely look forward to seeing the rest of the season. Watching more football, getting some more sleep, waking up at odd hours to watch NFL games here, living here in Phoenix, Arizona, all that good stuff.
Real quick.
Last shout out to everyone who listens. Shout out to you guys. Obviously, shout out to my fiance, Kendra Smith. It was her birthday Tuesday the 15th. We went out last night. We're going to go out next week, and we got some people flying in from Chicago to hang out. So
clip this. When you're clipping, Sharon is trash. That part right there.
Okay.
Sharon is trash, and the Packers suck. And the Packers suck.
They do suck.
Always.
They suck and they swallow. That's a 2-part deal with them. So. Hey.
Pause.
Oh my.
Pause.
Gay.
Oh Lord.
We need to get the hell on out of here. We're getting a little too carried away here. All right. So thank you for everybody that tuned in today. We really do appreciate it. Even though it was a bye, we still rocking out here with some content for you guys, talking Bears football, talking about, we really didn't get into the division opponents like we tried to, but we have
look good. That division looks strong, man.
Yes, we did mention that strongest division in the NFL. That's for sure. I don't think that's pretty debatable. But thank you for everybody in the chat. Keith, Frank, Leah, who else jumped in here?
Trey,
Andrea,
my son, Trey.
Trey, yes. Thank you for guys for tuning in and jumping in. Please remember to hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, Chef, am I lying here? Is it free to hit the like button?
If you're watching, it doesn't take anything just to push the thumbs up. Just hit it.
Yes.
Helps the algorithm out. Yeah. Hey, even if you don't like the content, you watching it. So yes, we not begging, but we sure is asking. Hit the like button.
Yes. So we have
that's how this works.
Show on. It does. That's how we keep coming back to y'all. So Fantasy Football Show with me, your boy Crooked Commish here. We'll break down whether you win or lose. Let us know if there's injuries that hit you. Let us know. We'll love to kind of talk to you guys and let you know who to look out for and who to get and the waiver wire. And then we have our main show on Tuesdays with Frank the Tank, T. Nick, Foulmouth C, and JB. There's the liquor cabinet that's back by popular request.
Yes.
Liquor shelf. It
looks new
from Chicago. So
yes, it did.
Oh my!
Yes, it did.
Nice and full,
my!
Yeah.
So all right,
we're back on deck, huh, Coach? Coach Chef.
We are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got the camera working the right way.
Oh
too.
My!
Yeah, I just had to show off the bar. We still
out here.
I'm thirsty. Good. I'm thirsty. We're ready for a drink. So guys. So like I said, stick with us throughout the whole year. We have the pregame show next week. We'll give you our score predictions there against the Commanders and break down the Commanders and what they did this week and stuff. So we'll see if they're going to come into this game with the win or if they're going to come into the Bears game with the loss here. So like I said, everybody, thank you again. Thank you to my co-host, Amp and Coach Chef. Coach Chef, hit me up. Let me know if we're going to hook up together and watch these games or not. If not, completely understand. But either way, You guys be safe out there into the real world out there. And remember, if you can't be good, well, damn it, at least be good at it.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
And now